Welcome back. Today we do something a little bit different. We're going to do something a little bit quicker, maybe a quick and dirty talk about KZ's new TWS called the KZ Carol. And we'll do this one quickly because it actually is still on promo, and it's very rare that I get a set in time to catch KZ's launch promotion. But there is a day left on this one, so I'm kind of hoping that this little video gets to the right people at the right time, and those who are very interested in the sound signature will have a chance to get it for the $4 off. I mean, it's already very attractively priced at $29.95, but if you can get it for $25.99, I think it's probably worth it to save a few bucks, because a few bucks is a few bucks, no matter how you count it. So with that being said, let's take a very quick look at it. This is the minimal box that it comes in. The case itself is one that you've seen before. I don't think KZ has changed this circular case since they've been using it. I think it's pretty much the same. I think the transparent, and you can kind of see the guts that are in there, the transparent top to it may be a little bit different, but I do think that the circular case is the same size as Extra, which I think is the same size as they've used before. So when we look at these, and they're kind of hard to get out of there, but here's what it looks like. It's actually a unique shape. It looks, from the exterior, it looks, you can kind of see the transparent shell on it, and KZ was kind of making a big deal about that, how you can see their chips in there. But the shape of it, it's actually a deeper fit than you think. You think it's kind of a hang-in, half-in-ear style, but no, it actually, you will twist it and it's angled, so it actually fits really snugly into your ear, and that will contribute to the amount of bass that comes through this. You get it, kind of push it in your ear and twist it a little bit and lock it in place, and you do get quite a deep fit for a TWS. I was kind of surprised. I didn't actually think about it. Second thing to notice is the nozzle, and we don't actually have anything to compare it to, but that nozzle is actually quite big, and I do think that KZ created tips just for that, so you do get kind of this large oval tip, and I'm not sure which other third-party tips might fit on this one. It seemed to me that it's actually a very large stem on this, and it was to fit over the large nozzle, so I do think that is a little bit unique and maybe something a little bit different on Carol, but I would call Carol the wireless sister to Castor. And for those of you who follow KZ as they go along, you know that they tend to come out with these keystone sets like DFI, and DFI spawned a bunch of different revisions and refinements on the DFI tuning. You know, you come out with a set that has a single dynamic driver, it has switches, it has a tuning that was very similar to Harman, and then they end up refining it based on people's feedback. And then along came Castor, and Castor became the same way. It was this very bass-heavy signature, and it was sort of unique at the time because they priced it attractively. It had a really heavy bass sound to it. And what happened with Castor was, wow, I love the bass, but then this little treble gets a little bit harsh or a little bit annoying. And then they came along, well, we'll refine it and we'll call it Trio. And then CCA Trio basically did a very similar bass curve, brought down the part that was annoying people. And now you have Castor, Trio, and then they did Vader Balance, which was, again, almost the same exact signature, just a slight refinement. So again, we have another family member. This one is called KZ Carol. So this is the wireless version of almost Castor. So don't worry as much as, you know, the way this kind of arcs down more than the other two. In ear, the way it sits in your ear is actually kind of way up there. It's kind of surprising how much bass this thing puts out. And if you turn on ANC, noise cancellation, it will actually sound even bassier depending on what's going on in the background, but very much the same exact signature. Those of you who are looking for a TWS with a really heavy bass signature done on a very nice KZ dynamic driver, and I forgot what, they don't call it super linear anymore. They have a different version, a different naming for their linear driver now, but you know, this has been a refinement of the same dynamic driver that has been, you know, very well received across a few models, and this is going to be another one. It's a very banging, bass-heavy set, but then they brought down the treble just a little bit. Again, this is a refinement on the exact same signature almost that they've been using all along. But again, this part that started out on Trio, that was a little harsh, better on Trio, better on, you know, Vader. I never heard Vader Balance, but I assume it was a refinement on that. And now they brought it down basically under the Harman target, and that's about where it should have started. That's where it sounds most pleasing. That's actually where it is in balance. So bringing this down a little bit makes this a little bit more present as well. But yeah, a very, very nicely balanced, bass-heavy, booming kind of set. I think a lot of people like that in a TWS. I certainly like it for outdoor TWS, listening to high energy music. I would say this one is right in your hip hop, your R&B, your EDM. This bass curve fits that really well. If that's not your primary music genres and you're looking for something more, I don't know, jazz or classical, that is not this bass style. This is very much people who listen to genres that can sound better with more bass. That is exactly what this style is for. Those of you who say, well, I like bass, but I like to have clear vocals, you're probably on the borderline. You're probably going to be annoyed by how much bass comes through with this. So do be aware of that. This one is very much going to target people who love a very big bass sound. And then bringing this part down so it's not as shouty, you can turn this one up probably about as high as your Bluetooth will go on your phone. Mine kind of, in these modern phones, it tends to cut off at some point. So this one's kind of the same way. You're going to push the volume up quite a bit. And this one will sound really, really nice because it doesn't have these shouty points that they learned on Castor and Trio previously. So brought it down, more easygoing, better bass, still same clean midsection that you get on their other really nicely done dynamic drivers. So you do get ANC, like I said. You do get ANC, you do get transparency. That's the other new thing on this one. It does have 6 microphones, so you do get fancy ANC. And I will be brutally honest that I had it turned up so loud that ANC was on, but I don't think I could actually hear it if it was actually canceling anything out because the music was so loud, and that was probably how I would use it. But as I said, the bass actually sounded a little bassier with ANC on, so I kind of left it on just for that purpose. But as far as blocking background noise, between the isolation on the new fit and the shell style and how loud you can turn this one, I wasn't too concerned about the ANC. I will take their word for it that it is new and approved and has 6 microphones and it does a bunch of wonderful things, but that's not the point of the set. The point is it basically follows a very popular signature that they've been using, Castor, Trio, Vader, as I said. So there you go. That is a quick one on Carol. I very much like this one. I very much like big V-shaped sets, TWS sets for outside. Perfect example of what that sounds like on Carol. So thank you guys again for tuning in, and I will see you next time.